Hey guys, so if you're a dog trainer and you've ever cringed when someone asks, what do you charge? Then this video is for you. I wanted to do a little series here to talk about how to set your rates and all about the mindset of charging money for dog training and how to decide what to charge. What I find tends to happen is that if you're like me, you got into dog training because you love dogs, you're passionate about training and about using your knowledge and skills to help dogs to make their life better and help their owners to improve their life with their dogs as well. And because you're really passionate about it and you love it, sometimes that makes you feel like you're not allowed to charge money for it, or there's some limit to what you can charge, and you should keep your rates really cheap, affordable, to the point that you're not actually making enough in your business to pay for your expenses and pay yourself as well. There's this really invasive belief that a lot of people have, especially people that are so passionate and about animals like we are, where we feel like just because we are passionate about what we do and we enjoy it and it's easy for us, then we shouldn't also get paid well for it. But two things to remember. First, it is a business, and the purpose of a business is to make you money. Otherwise, it's just a hobby. And second, it is a people-based business. Even though we're training dogs and we want to work with the dogs, it is still a people-based business, because at the end of the day, Fido's not going to be the one to pull out the wallet and pay you. It's going to be their owner, and we're helping the owner as well, right? That's why we train. The dog's not just going to learn training from you and go off and have a good life on its own. It's for the purpose of living a harmonious life with the owner, for the owner as well. So how do we set our rates? Because out of all of the dog trainers all over the world, the price range can go anywhere from free to thousands of dollars. So how the heck are you supposed to decide what to charge and where you fall on that range? Well, it might not have as much to do with other trainers as you might think. A lot of people are comparing and gauging how to set their rates by looking around at what other trainers are charging and checking on their websites and trying to pick the average, or maybe comparing to the competition. But you don't actually have to base it off any of that. There are ways to figure out the right price for you and your situation and your goals. So I'm going to go through how to set your rates now as a brief overview, but if you want the full guide, you can get this for free on the website. So I'll put the link below, and this is my how to figure out what to charge pricing guide, and there's a little Excel spreadsheet that goes with it as well to help you use it as like a calculator where you can punch in your numbers and figure out what to charge that's going to suit you. So we've spoken a bit about the mindset, the money mindset of figuring out what to charge, and how it's okay to do something that you love and something that's easy for you for a living, and also charge well for it. Even make a lucrative career from it. That's all okay. Some people feel a bit triggered by those words, but it's all okay. You can do what you want. Let's talk about quickly how not to figure out what to charge, and these are really common ways that people do it. We've touched on one, so let's touch on a couple more and let me know if you have used any of these techniques. So the first one is asking friends and family members what they think that you should charge, or maybe even your first clients. You might be even asking them, what do you think I should charge? What do you think it's worth? And I don't recommend doing this because firstly, they may not be your ideal clients. They may be not the same type of person that you're looking for to be an actual customer. And second, they are probably not in the situation right at this moment, except when you're asking clients, that they actually need your help right now. And that means that they may not be able to relate to someone that really needs the help of a dog trainer now and is willing to pay that. I also wouldn't recommend asking clients what they think that your services are worth, because you're going to get such a varied range of answers depending on each individual circumstance. And at the end of the day, they're not the one running your business, they're not in your shoes. And so it's really hard to, ask anyone else what to charge. You've really got to make the decision for you. I can't give you an exact number either. I can't tell you what to charge. You really need to do some calculations specific to your situation and decide for yourself. So I also wouldn't ask any online audience what they think you should charge, because again, you've got to decide for yourself, and they may not be your ideal client in your ideal client situation right now. Also, most people are also going to be on the cheap side because they're just thinking about their own wallets right now, and they're not taking into account that you also need to put food onto the table. And they may not realize what the true value of dog training is, which is immense. Another thing people do a lot is just compare what the competition is charging or what other dog trainers are charging in other towns. And that's one of the things that I did when I first started out, and it's advice that we hear a lot, is to look at what other people are charging and sort of find a range in there. But again, that's not going to be tailored to your specific situation, taking into account your specific situation expenses that you need to cover, how much you want to pay yourself, your lifestyle, how you are able to take on work and how much work you're able to fit into your week while still making a sustainable living, because fully booked looks different to everyone as well, with energy levels and personality. Whether you have other income earners in the house, all of this is things to take into account, as well as your goals. And I also want to say that you're never going to be able to please every single person, no matter what you do and no matter what price you set. You could charge $1, you could charge $0, you could charge $5,000, and you are still going to get the odd person that for some reason is not happy with that. Don't bend over backwards changing your rates that need to sustain your living because of other people's opinions. Okay, so how do we figure out what to charge? So you're going to get your numbers. You can use the calculator in the guide, so I'll put the link on this video. So there's a few key numbers that you need to take into account when you're figuring out what to charge. They're all in the rates guide that I'm linking on this video, which comes with an Excel or Google Sheets calculator that you can use as well, and just plug these in and see what it comes out with for you. But the main numbers you need to consider is, what do you want to earn in a year? What are the expenses of the business in a year? What is the profit margin that you want to make? Account for taxes in your expenses as well, by the way. You also need to know what your billable working hours are. So that is how many hours per week you want to spend at work and how many weeks of the year you want to spend working those hours. Once you've figured those numbers out, you can plug them into the calculator and it'll figure out a base hourly rate. And that base hourly rate is your minimum, okay? It's not a hard and fast rule that it has to be that, but I really recommend it's your minimum amount that you need to cover your expenses and make a profit, because that's what we're here for, right? Now, I recommend that you do check in with these numbers and revisit them regularly, because inflation changes things, the economy changes things, your goals and your expenses may change. And so every 6 months or so, I would review this and do a rate rise. Now, apart from all of these maths calculations, you've also got your intuition. You can just pick a number out of thin air if you want to. There are no rules for this. You can choose what you want to charge. And a lot of people would maybe get upset with me saying that, but I think it goes more in the direction of people undercharging when they're trying to just choose a number rather than overcharging. I have never met a dog trainer in my years of coaching them that is charging an outrageous high amount of money. I have only met dog trainers that are undercharging, and they haven't actually done the math and figured out what they actually need to charge to cover their lifestyle and their expenses and just the basics. Most dog trainers are undercharging. So if you use your intuition to help you pick a number, I would use the maths as well and sort of combine the two. But I would make sure that if you're using your intuition, that you're not letting some, harmful beliefs that can send you backwards affect the number that you choose. So you might think it's your intuition, but your intuition might be swayed by some beliefs that you've picked up from childhood, from money messages that you've heard, and that's to do with your money mindset, and all of that is going to affect what you charge as well. All right, so once you've done those calculations and seeing how it sits with you, how you feel about it, and you've got your rate, definitely read the guide because there's a lot more information in there to help you. But once you have that base hourly rate that I was talking about as a minimum, I actually don't recommend that you then just use that to charge per hour. I recommend that you put together programs or packages and charge by that. There's going to be more information about that in the guide as well. But for now, let me know, do you want me to do another series talking about the next step of putting together programs and packages and offering them to your dog training clients? Let me know.